What's good, Raider Nation? It's your boy Mikey Raider coming to you from my restroom. Why? Why do you give us videos where you're in your restroom? Well, because when I wake up, I gotta take a poop. But truth be told, if I'm taking a poop, I won't have a shirt on. So that's how you know I'm using the decor and the cabinet to film my videos because the lighting is right above. So there you go. Everybody, please do me a favor. We are going to talk about some latest Raider news that came across our desk, our Twitter feed yesterday, while I was actually asleep due to my body breaking down when I was supposed to go live on the Raider football talk show, the Raiders Roundtable, but I wasn't able to get into it because my body broke down around 4 p.m. And I had to lie down and get some rest because sometimes my body fails me. And speaking of things failing you, Mark Davis did not fail us. Mark Davis has had a resurrection. Mark Davis is now making decisions based off of his players. Ha ha ha. Just joking, Max Crosby. Did I just say Josh Jacobs is making decisions? I'm all over the place because I just woke up. But Mark Davis is now making decisions, and he's not failing us. It is official, according to Adam Schefter, the Raiders have hashtag hired AP. And many Raider Nation was divided on the subject, as we always are with every subject. But for the most part, many of us Raider fans that have been around, seen the heartache and the heartbreak by Mark Davis failing us and hiring star-studded names out of the Raiders culture and stuff like that. And yeah, that appears to be no longer. 2023 was the way, the Raider way, where Mark Davis finally saw the light after fans yelled at him, berated him in coliseums, outside of parking lots, on Twitter, on email. The message sunk in, or one of his allegedly prostitutes or girlfriends, punched him in the rear shack and said, "Hey, listen to your fans. Listen to the Raider Nation." But he has hired Antonio Pierce officially, and I'm excited. I posed the question, are you excited, you happy, you nervous, you worried, on Twitter? And I want to know what you guys think. Again, we're divided on every subject. We can't win them all. We're not Pokemon. But this is coming off of the heels of the Max Crosby supposed controversy, where he basically gave an ultimatum publicly. And he also had surgery. Get better, Max. I appreciate you. Bless you. You were wrong doing that public statement, because that kind of, in terms of the media, will show that maybe the players are running the kingdom. That's right. I can't call it a kingdom. The nation. I don't know what happened right there. Forgive me. Some sort of stupid Kansas City thought came into my head, and I thought about kingdom when we live in the only nation in the world. But, the media reporters, now that Antonio Pierce is officially hired, and is he? We'll talk about that in a second. I expect some contrarians to start making up the storyline that, first off, Antonio Pierce, because of his resume, doesn't deserve to get the head coaching job. But now that players are vouching for him and giving ultimatums like Max Crosby, which I think he was wrong to do that, it was a bad move. And he'll probably rethink it after he had surgery and he lies in bed, eating that jello, trying to recover. He probably thought about it. Yeah, that's kind of stupid. That's kind of stupid. Raider Nation kind of went against me. They wanted me traded. If you're going to make ultimatums like that, and if you don't want to be a Raider, if we don't hire Antonio Pierce, then get on out of here. We'll trade you for 2 first-rounders. Get on out of here. Ain't nobody above the shield, Max Crosby. So I definitely think Max Crosby, he hasn't publicly spoke about it, but he thought about it, and I'm sure it hit a nerve. But the mainstream media is now going to be saying that the players run the nation, the players run Mark Davis, and all that other stuff, and I don't think that's the case. It hurt for Max Crosby to say that, but I think Mark Davis saw the light, and he knows what's really going on. I mean, there's some sort of culture, there's some sort of excitement, there's some sort of swag happening with Antonio Pierce. And you just can't deny it. And again, in Raider history, we may look back at this showing, and I hope we don't. I'm just spitting out hypotheticals. We may look back at this point and be like, man, we could have had Harbaugh. Man, we could have had Belichick. Man, we could have had Vrabel. That could be a point of discussion in the future because of the timing and the way this all happened, and the NFL is changing coaches like you know what. So this could be a bad timing type thing for the Raiders, where we look back on it, we're like, man, we actually, we should have done this and we should have done that. Well, look, that's going to happen regardless. But from my perspective, with the culture, the swag, Antonio Pierce, the players, as he said in the video before, let's smoke our stuff, drink our stuff, and talk our stuff. There's something being built, and we can all feel it. It's tangible. It's an energy. And the players felt it. A lot of the legacy players felt it, and a lot of people have felt it. Even the haters of Antonio Pierce, they felt it. But they want the professional resume and so on and so forth. But we got to look back at our past and say we went against the grain and hired the Harbaughs, the Grudens, the McDaniels, the big names again, and it didn't work out. So why not do it this way? Because we can see the future and it looks bright. That's what I feel. I feel it was a good choice. Coming from a veteran Raider fan, I think it was a better choice for the Raiders, their fan base, for the culture, for the players, for a resurgence than Harbaugh or anybody else. On the field might be another story, but I want this excitement. I want this excitement. We have not been excited for many years about this team. We have not had somebody to bring in that sort of Raider way spirit, bring it back from the death. We have not had that. Now we got excitement. Okay? Now, we haven't got word on Champ Kelly being hired, but let's be quite honest, guys. If they hired Antonio Pierce to run this team, I'm going to be honest with you. I think Champ Kelly has already been hired, because normally they hire the GM and then the GM brings in their coach. And Champ Kelly was gifted or given at the moment Antonio Pierce, and they kind of made it work a little bit. They helped bring in Jack Jones by working together, who played really good for us down the stretch, made a couple of decisions, won a few games, and it was working. Now, if Mark Davis went with another GM, which he's interviewed quite a few, and I'm not going to name all the names, I don't care. I mean, I really don't. Uh, but he's interviewed a few, and then if he would have brought in a Harbaugh or whatever, I mean, if he brought in a different GM than Champ Kelly, then they'd want to interview Antonio Pierce and maybe bring in their coach, or maybe they have a relationship with Harbaugh or Belichick or Vrabel, and they want to bring that person in as their coach. So that's why I'm telling you now, Champ Kelly has been hired, maybe not officially, by Mark Davis, because I don't see another GM getting hired and now being told that they are stuck with Antonio Pierce if they want to make changes. You see what I'm saying? There's a correlation there. So that's why I'm saying, and I posted it a couple of days ago on my Twitter, I put a meme that said, "Congratulations, champ. Our dynasty begins." Because I knew in my heart of hearts, even though I'm not a professional reporter, that Antonio Pierce was hired. I watched a couple of videos during the MLK Day parade where he let it slip. Antonio Pierce literally let it slip. And I actually watched it before Wi-Fi Willie made his video way earlier that day. I was like, but I don't make videos with the quickness all the time anymore like I used to. Because I just don't have the health, the time, the equipment, the technology, and the passion sometimes. But yeah, he let it slip on the MLK. He said, he goes, once we put pen to paper, that's what he said on MLK Day when he was getting interviewed for the parade in Las Vegas. He goes, yeah, everything's all going good, and once we put pen to paper, let's get this thing started. So then, man, I was like, man, they hired Antonio Pierce. Should have went on Twitter and said it, but that would have created an S-storm. But I knew that Champ Kelly, I have a feeling he's been hired. I don't think they're going to go elsewhere, guys. Now, we can talk about, who Antonio Pierce is going to have as an OC. There's a lot of rumors about the old Arizona Cardinals coach. I forgot his name. There's a couple of rumors about Marvin Lewis coming to the Raiders as part of the offensive staff. The veteran Marvin Lewis with the Bengals. Will he officially be the coordinator? I don't know. I mean, there's rumors about Gruden. There's rumors about a lot of people. But for now, it appears Antonio Pierce is our head coach. And I'm just going to say this. I like it. I'm excited. I can understand the contrarians wanting a different coach, and all that. Somebody wrote on Twitter, "Congratulations, Antonio Pierce. I'm excited. We're going to be 2-15, but the players are going to be happy, and we're going to be balling out and smoking out in the locker room." You're going to get all these jokes, man. But again, now, per the title of this video, a lot of people saying, what do you mean? The Raiders got it wrong. Well, that's clickbait. I ain't opposed to doing clickbait because I need some views. I need to make a few bucks. I ain't got no damn job. But it's not clickbait. Think about it in this sense. So whatever the video title may end up being, something about getting it wrong, or the Raiders chose wrong, or something like that. The reason why I said that is the Raiders got it wrong is they put out a video on Twitter. Go to @Raiders or whatever and check it out. Where Antonio Pierce is wearing a sweet-ass Raider jacket, and he's walking through the hallway. He's walking. He got that groove. He got that swag. And one thing I love about Antonio Pierce is he lives the words and the stuff of the Raiders publicly. Driving an Impala, and he's representing these type of feelings, the LA Raider type of feelings, that swag, that culture that was, created that really never came to fruition completely with that many championships. But, he got that swag. And just like the song says, swaggering boisterously. So that's why I like Antonio Pierce. Some people hate that swag. Some people hate it. Again, you're going to have haters or people that don't like it on every side of the fence. But if he's living the dang song and the words and the poem, the autumn wind and the culture, he's living it. And he's swaggering boisterously. He's a raider. He's a soul raider. Woo-hoo. Soul raider. Well, he is now for sure. But check out that song, guys, by 4Dub, called Soul Raider. Look it up here on YouTube. I'm sure it's there. Soul Raider, one of my favorites. Love those guys. Miss them. But he's swaggering boisterously when he does all of this stuff. And they had a hype video, I guess, to announce Antonio Pierce being hired about 10 hours ago, whatever the case may be. He's walking down a hallway and, you know, he walks into an office, looks like a head coaching office. It didn't say head coach or anything like that. It didn't have a little, you know, thing in front that said head coach Antonio Pierce. But he walks into this office and then he sits down, you know, grabs his jacket that is sweet. It's a sweet ass jacket. I love those jackets. I love all the clothing he's been wearing. But he sits down and he gets his jacket and then he goes, Raider Nation, stand up. Now, I started laughing my butt off. Why? Because he sat down to tell us to stand up. I just thought it was hilarious. Literally, he walks down a hallway and he sits down and he goes, Raider Nation, stand up. You just sat down. Now you're telling us to stand up? What is it? But on that post, man, Raider Nation also wrote on their official Raider account, they said, interim coach Antonio Pierce. It still said interim coach Antonio Pierce. Then it had the video located underneath. Is that a troll move? Why did they write interim head coach? Are they trolling us, playing with us? Is it an actual announcement? You think they would have announced it? Maybe not till he puts pen to paper. Maybe there has to be a new league year, or the lawyers or the legalese people have to figure it all out. Maybe that'll be done on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, or they got to officially hire a GM. I don't know. But it was weird to write interim coach Antonio Pierce and then put that video. Why not write head coach? Or what? I don't know. I guess there's going to be a bigger announcement. The Raiders PR department's like, hey, let's just mess with them a little bit. Let's give them a little hint. You know, it's like a girl. She teases your taint. She just teases your taint a little bit. Where did that come from? I don't know. That was weird. Mikey Raider getting sexual. But yeah, I don't know why they did that. That was interesting to me. So I posted about it on Twitter. So hit up my Twitter and you guys can see some of my quips when I do have them, when I am being funny or when I am awake and understanding the way of the world. But in summary, to end this video, we've already been online or in a video about 20 minutes. I'm excited about this Antonio Pierce signing. I think he's swaggering boisterously. I think he's doing and saying all the right things. And I got a lot of excitement now for the future. Regardless of everything else and all the other people with resumes, I'm excited. And it's been a long time coming for a lot of Raider fans to get excited. Now we got the possibilities of bringing in some really good resumed offensive coordinators. And we got the possibilities of figuring out a way to maybe, you know, get a top flight quarterback if we're looking. Because I don't think Aiden O'Connell's the answer. And I mean, he's good. He's probably gonna be a good backup for any team in the league, maybe even ours in the future. We still got Garoppolo on the roster. So they got to figure out a bunch of things on that end. But maybe we can trade Garoppolo or something. We're probably going to lose more money. We got to have some talks about all that, the business side of everything that's going on. We got to have, hopefully I have a Raider football talk this week, guys. I've just been really, really busy doing a lot of things. I got a career podcast on my Haybauer channel. I got a lot going on, man. And then my body breaks down because I've been working more than I normally do in my real life with auditioning as an actor, taking headshots, and man, I'm not used to it. So my body broke down. That's why I apologize, guys. I didn't go live last night for the Raiders Roundtable. Now I'm going to watch playoff football all day today. But I'm excited, guys. I just got to be honest with you guys. I'm excited. If this is the real answer, because pen hasn't been put to paper. I don't know if it's official. Adam Schefter said it was. They posted that video of him sitting down to telling us to stand up. And they wrote interim coach. I don't know. But to summarize this video, I believe Antonio Pierce is officially our head coach, at least for 1 year. We're going to find out the details coming soon. I believe Champ Kelly is actually hired as well. They just haven't announced it because they want to handle Antonio Pierce first to get the fan base happy or whatever. I don't know if it's real or not because they wrote interim head coach, but I got to stop my brain from thinking. But I'm excited, guys. Let me know how you feel in the thoughts below with your honest opinions. Whether you're worried, you're anxious, you're confused, you're happy, you're excited. I mean, no opinion is wrong, guys. We are Raider Nation. And regardless of who we hire as our head coach and all that, you got to admit, many of them divide us in bad ways, in evil ways. Hence, McDaniels, etc. But with people like Antonio Pierce, even though they have divided opinions, he's got that Raider swag, and he's got that Raider stuff and spirit, that Raider way that we actually all love, even if you don't want him to be our head coach. He's got that fan spirit, and motivating head coaches can win in this league. It probably hasn't been done by many over many years, except maybe Madden back in the days, but he knew football. And I'm just saying, this may be the new way of the NFL. We might be starting a trend because it kind of happened when the Colts hired that coach and they won that one game and they hyped up their team at least for a few weeks. Antonio Pierce has now hyped up our team for, like 8 or 9 games, and we won more than we lost. I think we're 5-4, but that's what I'm trying to say. It's like we're showing the NFL that it can be done. So bring in a motivational interim head coach for your staff and stuff like that. So that way, if anything happens to that popular head coach, you find somebody with that culture, that spirit, that love, that will get along with players. And, the Raiders are showing it can work. Doesn't mean officially, doesn't mean the playoffs, doesn't mean the Super Bowl, but it's excitement. And when a team is down in the dumps for so many years, or when a team is down in the dumps from losing, you need that excitement. So the NFL is a copycat league. So I expect on a lot of teams' rosters, former players that are excitable with energy and culture to be on a lot of teams' staffs. Maybe as interim head coaches, in the background, or assistant coaches. And this is also going to allow them to hire more players from the league to be defensive linebacker coaches and whatnot. And this is a good thing for the NFL. And the Raiders are known for making waves, whether it be diversity, inclusion, etc., so on and so forth. The Raiders are making history again with this hiring. The NFL is a copycat league, and it's going to be done. And the final statement for this hiring of Antonio Pierce, and in my opinion, soon to be Champ Kelly, well, let's just give it up to female CEO, female black CEO, male black general manager and head coach that's black when there's not There's not that happening in the league anywhere. Now, people would say we need more black owners, and I agree with that. But this is an awesome history-making thing where all three of these people, if they are officially hired, to just add to our legacy of diversity, equity, inclusion, and it's a good thing. The Raider Nations are the colors of black and silver, and it does have white as well. So why not? That was weird. I was like talking about race at the end, and then that could go a lot of ways. Well, why don't they add yellow? That was a bad joke. I'm gonna get on out of here. I love you guys. Stay healthy, stay happy, stay blessed. Let me know your thoughts on this video. I appreciate you guys. Now I'm officially going to take a dump. Hit that like, that subscribe button. Become a member for exclusive content coming soon. I love you guys. Swaggering boisterously.